Hello everyone, it is me Sasha Kawaii Cat, and in today's video, I'll be turning random water Pokemons into mermaids. Before we begin, I should make it clear that I don't actually know that much about Pokemon. I watched the anime when I was a kid and I've seen a few movies, but that's about it. I'm mostly drawing Pokemon because I need inspiration for my character designs and there's a lot of them to pick from. If you're wondering how I selected the Pokemons I will be drawing in this video, the answer is a random Pokemon generator I found online. Please don't be surprised that I won't have much to say about the Pokemons I'll be drawing because I am not familiar with them at all. I'll probably mispronounce their names. I will instead be focusing on my designs. If my designs don't match the personalities of these Pokemons, I'm mostly just using their physical appearance to do these mermaid designs because I cannot stress this enough. I don't know anything about Pokemon. Now that I've gotten the disclaimer out of the way, please subscribe if you're not already, like and share the video, and consider becoming a channel member to show your support. It will really help me get these videos out more frequently. Okay, let's get started. So the first Pokemon I decided to turn into a mermaid is this Pokemon called Drizzile. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I thought this was a frog the first time I saw him, and I realize now that I'm very stupid. That is obviously a lizard. But the first time I saw him, I was like, yeah, that's obviously a frog. But I really like this design. He looks so cute. I really like the color scheme, and I really like his little tuft of hair. My first thought when I saw him was, okay, yes, that's a frog. I was wrong. And that is a little emo frog. He looks like a little emo boy, which I think is really cute because of the hair and the face and everything. He kind of also looks like he's wearing eyeliner, like eyeshadow makeup. Also, his hands look like little green mittens, which I think is really cute. And I think he has a really nice color scheme. I really like the color scheme of this character. But yeah, I really like this design for the Pokemon. I think he looks really cute. I don't know what his powers are or anything like that, but I know he has a cute design. For my mermaid design, I want to talk about the inspiration that I took from Drizzile's design and how I worked that into the character. So the first thing I want to mention is his tail. I really like the shape of his tail, and as you can see, I turned that into her sleeves. But also her hair, like he has a little bit of hair, but if you guys have been watching me for a long time, then you know I love to draw big hair. So I didn't match his hair completely, but I still kept the color scheme, and the shape of her hair is actually the shape of his tail, which I think is really cute. I also like the pattern on his design, which is what I used for her mermaid tail, and also her like gloves on her hands match the shape, the pattern on his hands, his little mitten hands, which I think is really cute. And for her overall design and color scheme and everything like that, I tried to match his his color scheme to the design that I came up with. So I do think it looks really good. I like how it turned out. To talk a bit more about the design and the drawing process for the designs for this video, I did a bunch of sketches as you saw in the beginning of the video, and I really came up with this idea very quickly because his design is it's very cute. It's very easy to make a good design from this design because it's already really nice. The color palette is already very appealing. The pattern is very appealing, and I could already tell how I wanted her to look. I do think I forgot to add a little tuft of hair to make it more recognizable as Drizzile, but I did add it in the end. In this sketch, I did a different pose. The pose is very different from the final pose that I have in the official drawing, but that's because I didn't really like the pose that I did in the sketch too much. I also had so much trouble drawing the hands. I always mention this, but I always have trouble drawing hands. A tip for people who aren't good at drawing hands is always have like references to use. I always try to use references when I'm drawing hands, but not always. I'm not really sure what personality this character would have. She looks very moody because I was trying to make her look like a little emo, but I do wonder if Drizzle's personality is actually not emo at all and I'm reading too much into it. I feel like I should have done some more research on these Pokemons, but I don't think it matters too much. I don't know if you guys cared that I don't actually know much about these Pokemons. I am curious how many of you are familiar with Pokemons. Obviously, you guys know what Pokemons are because Pokemons are very popular, but if you guys are like fans of Pokemons, if you have any information you can provide to me about these characters, I'd appreciate that. Please comment below and let me know. I do want to mention that throughout this design process, I was going through I was sort of trying to change my style a little bit, and it was not working out. So I went back and forth on the shading a little bit, but in the end I figured out how I wanted it to look and it turned out fine. And for the design, I do want to mention that I really love the hairstyle I came up with. She looks so cute. But yeah, I really like how this design turned out. I don't think I have anything more to add to it other than I really like Drizzle's design, and I think this design translated very well to a mermaid design. And yeah, I like how this one turned out. Please comment below and let me know what you think. Let's move on to the second design. So the second Pokemon I decided to draw is called Slowking, and looking at this design, I'm pretty sure this is a dinosaur. I could be wrong, but it's either a lizard or a dinosaur, same thing, I guess. And I like this design. He looks very cute as well. These are all cute designs. My first thought is he has like a collar around his neck that reminds me of an umbrella, if I'm being honest. That's my first thought. He also has his hands behind his back, which makes me wonder if that's a typical pose for him. I don't know. He also looks very round and very cute. I really love this design. He looks very silly though, but I assume that he's very smart. I did look up images of this character, and I did see a bit of information about him. I'm pretty sure he's like a psychic type water Pokemon, which makes me think that he's very smart, but I'm not sure. But I love the design. It looks really cute. He also has a very nice color scheme. But for the redesign, for the mermaid design, I wasn't really sure what gender I was going to make the character. So in the sketch section, I did a male version and a female version. And I decided to go with the female versions because I'm used to drawing women. So I know his name is Slowking, but let's think of this as like a slow queen, I guess. But yeah, I did this really nice design, which I think looks really good. The character, he's kind of like thick. He's a little thick boy, I think. So I made the characters, I tried to draw as a guy, I tried to make him thick. But then with the female design, I was like, yeah, she should also be thick. So she's very curvy. She's a curvy mermaid. And I really wanted her to have a really long hair, big hair, because like I said, I love big hair. So I gave her really curly hair. And for her outfit, her design, I wanted to incorporate that collar thing that he has on. And I gotta say, I should have moved that, but I should have put it somewhere else. Like maybe made her sleeves that pattern, you know what I mean? Because this was very difficult to draw. I did figure it out in the end, but I feel like I could have done a better job with this thing, but it's just so confusing to me. I don't know what it is. I don't understand how to draw it. I did figure it out, but it was really hard. Yeah, but for the design, the overall design, I just wanted to draw like a really beautiful woman. A really beautiful queenly woman. I think initially I was going to try to match her crown to his crown, the sort of design of his crown, but in the end I was like, nah. No, I don't really like the design of his crown too much. It's like a helmet type crown thing. So I went with a very queenly very queenly crown for our redesign here. So yeah, I think that's it. I don't think I have anything else to add. I really like how this one turned out as well. Love her hair. My favorite part to draw. Please let me know what you think in the comment section below. Okay, let's get to the third design. This one is a star. I think this Pokemon is called Starmie. I do want to say before I begin, I do apologize if I ramble a lot in these videos. Previously, I would script my videos because I feel like I say a lot. I feel like I ramble a lot. But I don't really like writing a script for my videos anymore. I don't think I care to write a script anymore for my videos. I'd rather just talk about the designs, and it is gonna get a bit rambly. I am gonna talk a bit more, I guess. I am gonna say a lot, and I hope you guys don't mind too much. I do think this is how I want to make my videos going forward, and I hope you guys don't mind. But yeah, let's get into this star. So the first thing I want to mention is that this is a very simple design. This is a very it's simple because it's just a star, but also detailed. The gems are detailed. I hope that makes sense. Like, I cannot read much into this Pokemon because it's just a star, which I think is interesting because my idea of Pokemons is that a lot of them are based on animals. This is just a rock. I don't know. This just looks very cold and unfeeling to me. It's just a star. I don't know if there's anyone out there who's like a big Starmie fan. I assume his name is Starmie. I don't remember. If you're a huge fan, you really stand this star. You really love this star. I love to hear more about it or him. I wanna know what this star's whole deal is. But yeah, these were randomly selected. I did a bunch, but you know, I did a bunch of sketches for all the Pokemons that were randomly selected. You can see there were quite a few to choose from, and I like the design that I came up with for the star. I like the design I did, so I decided that that one would make it into the video. And I gotta say, I don't know what I feel about this guy. I don't know what I think. I kind of just wanted to draw a hot guy because I don't know what Starmie's whole deal is, or Starry. I will say I really like the color palette of this Pokemon. I like the color palette. It looks cute. But let's get into the mermaid design. Let's get into my redesign here. So for this redesign, I actually did this drawing several times. I did numerous drawings, I should say, of this Pokemon because I couldn't figure out the design. I'm not sure if I'm gonna show you guys all the designs that I did because they're quite similar. But I did an original design and I scrapped it and I had to redraw the whole thing. You know, sometimes you do a drawing and you think it's fine, but then you go back and you look at it and you think, no, actually it's not fine. This is a bad design. Let's start over. The truth is I didn't really change much in the second drawing that I did, or I think this is the third drawing I did. I don't know. But I didn't really change much in the design that you're seeing in this video. But there are a few things that I needed to like switch around. The color scheme I wasn't too sure of. But yeah, to talk about the design, I think my first thought was I'm gonna make this guy look like some kind of superhero, some kind of deity, I guess. I don't know. I remember in the first design that I did, I made a star very detailed and I was like, no, this doesn't match my style. And so I had to go back and do that over, and I made it very simple. You can tell that the star in his head is simplified, and I prefer this simplified version, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know if I have anything else to add about this one. I don't know if I like how this one turned out. That's not true. I do like it. I do I just think that I should have put more thought into it. I do like how it looks, actually. I should have put more thought into it, but I couldn't really get a vibe off this star. It's just a star. It's hard to read something that doesn't have eyeballs or a face or mouth. It doesn't have a face, you guys. It doesn't have eyes. I can't read it. So I didn't really know what to do for the character. Oh my god. I like the design though. It's fine. Comment below and let me know what you think. So those are all the designs. I hope you guys like them. I didn't do all the sketches I designed, so I'll probably finish those in another video. It really depends on how well this video does. I usually don't set goals for my YouTube videos, but let's say if this video gets 500 likes, I'll make another Pokemon into mermaid video or a Pokemon into human video. We'll see. I'm not sure. But anyway, that's the end of the video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.